Okay. I'm using the Radiant Rider-Waite, and I have allowed for reversals. I'm going to do 15 cards in a cartomancy style reading, and the question is, what happens? What happens at the Charlie Kirk funeral? Okay, so we have Eight of Pentacles reversed, Ace of Cups, that makes sense. Yeah, okay. Just keep going. Now, this would be, even though it's a Moon and Cancer card, with the court cards, I'll go with any of the, the sign that rules the element, and with cups, this would be Erica Kirk because she's a Scorpio. King of Swords, standing in for all of the air sign men who are supposed to be there with Trump. So we're talking Rubio, Hog's Breath, and maybe there's someone else I don't know about. Okay, this is the event itself. Page of Swords, Knight of Cups, Eight of Swords. Okay, so starting off, I'll keep going, but just from the get-go here, with Eight of Pentacles coming through reversed, some people are going to be lazy, some people are going to be bored, some people are going to be there just for external validation. Some people are going to be having problems with their stomachs. Ace of Cups is the outpouring of feeling, outpouring of emotion. The Chariot is the caravan bullshit from Trump. This is him with his, control, that he's just got to be there and assert himself, and there will be a lot of other people that do that as well. Yeah. And again, Charlie Kirk's wife. And we could also say the Queen of Cups would be honoring, all the families that are there together, whatever. Okay. Maybe this is Hog's Breath's wife. I don't know if she's a water sign. I don't know if she's a Cancer, Scorpio, or Pisces. Again, this is the event itself with an outpouring of emotion. The Page of Swords reversed is our card for Secret Service, protection, upright or reversed. It'd be Secret Service protection. But it's also a card of a lot of gossip and people who lie and people who are all talk and no action and people who are outright hypocrites. When this card's reversed, to me, in the context of this situation, it has to do with guns and weapons. Somebody may fall down. Somebody may have an accident. The Knight of Cups coming through has to do with people with, making offers and expressing their emotions in relationship and expressing what's in their hearts. Well, okay. But it could be, I don't know who it could be in the actual, yeah. It's funny, in the other reading I was doing for Trump, I had the Queen of Wands come through up here, and I was thinking, oh, that's probably Christy Nome or somebody, but now I'm thinking it's Tulsi Gabbard because she's supposed to be there. And also, J.D. Vance is supposed to be there, and isn't he like the Queen of Wands reversed? I'd say so. I'll crack up if it comes through again. Eight of Swords reversed. People are going. There's so much security. It's supposed to. They're expecting like 100,000, up to 100,000 people, and some overflow in the stadium, and yeah. So, but anyway, with the Eight of Swords reversed, people are going to wish they had more breathing room. It's going to be overcrowded. They are going to be wanting to escape, and maybe some of them will. Maybe they won't stay. But there will be a release of whatever's on their minds once it's all done. Maybe there's some people will even be open to new ideas. This is a card of options and escape when it's reversed, and some kind of freedom and release rather than being stuck, So that's kind of interesting. You know what? I'm feeling like in the beginning there's going to be this outpouring of emotion, and then they're going to get bored, and then a lot of them are going to want to just leave. Okay. Hanged Man reversed. Three of Wands reversed. Five of Wands reversed. Death reversed. The World reversed. Knight of Pentacles. All right. Let's keep going. Since I do have more room, I thought I was just going to do 15, but while I'm here. Okay. If I were to keep going, it's a nightmare. So, knighting the Eight of Pentacles reverse, which again, boredom, laziness, people working there, doing what they have to do but not wanting to, speakers wanting external validation. Knighting out to the Hanged Man reversed is our card for cults. Insane people, cult members, and their cult leader. Well, I can't say that's Trump, but this is the cult. Again, with the Eight of Pentacles reversed, bringing through, the boredom and the external validation and all that other stuff, the lack of quality control. With the Three of Wands reversed, this has to do with people who are afraid of changing, but they're out of options, and plans that have failed. Knighting out to the World reversed, something isn't done, there's a lack of integrity, there's a lack of completion, there's no closure, no one's taking self-responsibility, and so there's no freedom. And then with the Knight of Pentacles, later on when it's all done, they just, they're moving away slowly. And people are, going to have to, it has to do with a lot of cleaning up and stuff. It didn't come through reverse, so I'm not clocking this as a dark mercenary or anything. The cult people that don't have anywhere else to go. The Five of Wands reversed. I mean, they're just out of options. Their plans are like, now what do we do, kind of a thing. Our dear leader's gone. Five of Wands, and I'm not negating anybody's grief, okay? Because when they're involved in that much hatred for other people, that's not real love. So their grief is for losing a leader, but was this guy really, when you're talking toxic masculinity, is this really a leader? I don't think so. Five of Wands reversed. This is people, some people, a lot of people, like, well, they're kind of focusing on their goals, but then there are other people that are just avoiding, any conflict. They don't want to get in any fights. And the Death reversed card, mirroring it, brings through like the whole event, and then maybe this being Hog's Breath and Rubio, maybe they're the ones that are avoiding any conflict. And with the Death reversed card over here mirroring together, this is kind of being stuck. There's resistance to change, but these guys can't move on. They can't move forward. They're stuck. So there's, their control issues are up. Survival issues are up, right? Power and control issues. And then mirroring out further, we've got the High Priestess reversed is something's gone too far. There's exhaustion. There's somebody where there's a fall from up high, the cult leader, like that kind of a thing. But this could have to do with Trump a little bit here. This also, which is the main reason I'm reading on it, also, there's unprocessed emotional reactions from the past. And the Three of Swords coming through reversed. There's a lot of just releasing of pain, but there's seclusion, and there's, some people with heart problems and issues of the heart. Maybe even illness. If it would have come through upright, I would say there's something else going on. But this does feel like they're just kind of stuck, and there is a release. Up here, mirroring these two, well, with the Ten of Swords reversed, this would have people with their minds just kind of going blank, and especially with the the close proximity here of the Hanged Man reversed, the cult members are just feeling kind of out there, that all these unconscious delusions just floating around, and it's kind of insane. I don't know if somebody has some poison drink. There's that possibility there. If it does, it doesn't take anybody out. I'm not seeing anything like that. But this mirroring together with this Ten of Swords reversed, this is my card for conspiracy theories. This is my card for accidents with sharp objects. But again, I don't see outright death. Maybe somebody has a heart problem, though. And then this Four of Swords reversed. So I think it's going to be ripe with all kinds of conspiracy theories speaking, coming from Hog's Breath, especially conspiracy theories. And maybe even the, Erica, what's her face? Scorpio. And then with the Four of Swords over here mirroring, bookending here. And these four corners are really, they frame in the whole reading. Or we could even take these whole two rows and frame the whole thing in. We could even bookend this way. All right? I mean, frame, like really frame. So I'll do that in a second. So Four of Swords reversed. Maybe somebody has a health problem where they're taken out in an ambulance. That may very well happen. But usually it's about people feeling burned out and restless, and they're, they can't rest. Sometimes, and especially with this combined and taking these in, I feel like this could be losing some of the cult members, because they're just like, this is, they've had too much. Maybe somebody has, I don't have that card to relate to that, but I'm wondering if somebody has an epiphany. They're definitely going to walk away feeling like, with this King of Wands down here reversed, they're going to feel like there's a lack of real leadership, and a lot of people are going to have headaches, I think, probably from the lack of water, dehydration here. And, things don't, it's not, there's just no completion. There's this lack of integrity, most of all, with the world reversed. But I wonder if somebody has an epiphany about that. Maybe some air sign men that are like, you know what, something's messed up here. And it could be a bunch of people that are just, they're not liking Trump being there. Because it was going to be a high security event anyway, but he's making it worse, because that's what's going on up here. With the King of Wands down here at this corner, this whole area, and especially knighting up here to the our card for the Hanged Man reversed being our card for the cult members and all the unconsciousness and the delusion, and we can even go with the artwork on the figure where it's like hands on the hips, and it's like, well, I don't know anymore about this, and then we've got the gossiping and the talking, and maybe the Secret Service protection is pissing people off. Maybe they're not doing their job correctly, because we've got the Secret Service card here right next to the Eight of Pentacles reverse, which is like somebody's bored and they don't like their job and they're not getting paid enough, and which I don't know about the pay, if that's true or not, but meanings to that card. And then with this these two cards coming together, and this whole angle coming together down here at this corner with the Knight of Wands reversed, dang. I mean, it could be somebody stroking out even. Definitely headaches. Somebody is going to be impulsive and ruthless and power hungry and throw a tantrum and show off their toxic masculinity with their racism and their sexism and their lies. Gee, I wonder who might that be. I don't know if Trump is going to speak himself. What I saw when I looked it up was J.D. Vance. This might be J.D. Vance. I mean, this is the Sun in Aries. He's a Leo, but this could be J.D. Vance. He's supposed to speak. Marco Rubio, Hog's Breath. I don't know if Rubio's going to speak. Tulsi Gabbard's supposed to be there. Yeah. It might be JD. JD looking like the idiot. He's the biggest cult member. And then, of course, the big old all the conspiracy theories that he'll put out. And he is an incomplete human. His integrity is so incomplete. All of these people that are going to show up to speak for, on Trump's behalf or whatever. Ugh. So, moving further on into the future and kind of looking at, I think I covered these two already. I feel like I need to be here, and maybe something with this Chariot. Now, if I dive a little deeper into the Chariot, it's a card for willpower, but you have to have your shit together, man. You got to stay centered, right? Masculine and feminine together. Then you've got everything. But if you're not centered and you're stuck in duality, which is why we have the black and the white here, your horses aren't going in the same direction. But now this could literally be the hearse. Okay? And so if we're watching it, then we would see, of course, the hearse and Erica Kirk with an outpouring of emotion. And speaking for like families, like something about families is what I'm getting here. Because it is, ruled by Cancer. And this is definitely a family woman here. Yeah, so I think we'll just call that the hearse. And then with the Secret Service, protection down here, but also people who are supposed to be doing their job, but they're all talking no action and they're not paying attention. That doesn't look good to me. And the Eight of Swords down here, knighting to the Chariot, makes me feel like people just really want to get away. And maybe she wants to get away too. Because here's the big event. I still would have to have compassion for what she's going through, losing her husband. But now she's supposed to be the one, oh, that's what this is. So this is definitely, well, sometimes the court cards can stand in for more than one person, but she's definitely, she's taking over. She's supposedly taking over Turning Point USA. Turning Point USA will be stuck. And it's like, just ridiculous. But she'll plod along. This card's knighting to her. She'll plod along and keep going, one step at a time. But this is just the event, right? And with the Seven of Cups reversed, and this is the answer card. This is an answer card too, with that 9 box here. We could say these three are like summing up the fact that people want to get away, but it's a slow move to get the hell out of there, and then they find out that they're stuck and they're out of options. And when we have the Seven of Cups come through reversed, it's our card for reality setting in. It's our card for no more options or no more opportunities. And then there's this like, the thing's supposed to start at like 11 in the morning, so I doubt people are going to be drinking there. But and we didn't have the Two of Swords come through reverse, but this might have to do with them, like people who need to sober up aren't. This sometimes is a card, when it comes through reverse, to me, I sometimes wonder about poisons. So maybe we could just call it toxic emotions, right? Anyway, reality will be setting in. I think that's the main reason we got this card here at the end. So, okay, I think that's it. If any of you are my members who know how I read, because you're taking the lessons of the lessons level, you know how to do all the knighting. We could knight any of these cards together, which would be Hegseth is wanting to get out of there. Oh, yeah. Oh, it's duh. Okay. From the level of Hog's Breath, here he is. Can't wait to get the hell out of Dodge, but he can't move very fast because he's stuck with Trump and all of that. And he's the one that wants the drink. He's still drinking. He can't wait to get away and poison himself. Yeah. And then even with the Three of Swords, it's like, how do you get away fast enough and release this pain? He wants seclusion so he can drink. Yeah, and he's the one that's kind of ruthless as well, too. Maybe J.D. Vance sniffs out the fact that he's quite the drinker, and he's the one that's ruthless to Hog's Breath. That's possible there. Okay, well, that's it. Thanks, you guys. Have a wonderful rest of your day. Bye.